Hi everyone, my name is Kevin, and today we are looking at the P1 sports watch made by a company called iWANFit. Based on the name, you could probably figure out that they are based out of China. This stands for, that's probably not the best thing to say, by the way. And so the P1 sports watch, what that stands for is Power Sports Watch. Yes, it is powerful, and I don't know why they chose that name, but in tech, being a P1, that's a good thing. If you're a P0, that's the best, because that means things will definitely happen. If you're a P2 or a P3, it's probably not going to happen. P stands for priority. My full-time job, I don't do YouTube product reviews. You could probably figure that out by watching some of my videos. What I do for my full-time job is I work at Microsoft as a program manager. As a program manager, we get to build products. I get to work together with developers, designers, researchers. We get to work with customers to figure out what customers want, and we build products that satisfy customers. Today, I don't have to do any of that because what I get to do is I get to look at this product, I get to see how iWANFit built it, I get to see how they built their menus, and I get to critique and I get to give my feedback on it to tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and would I have done anything differently. This is the next one that they sent me. I have one on my wrist and I've got one in the box. Does that mean we're going to have a free giveaway today? Well, if you want a broken watch, yes, you could have a broken watch giveaway. Okay, well, why don't we jump into it? Here we are on the watch. You'll see that there's a very nice watch face here. It tells me the time. It does fitness tracker essentials. It tells me the calories I've burned, the number of steps I've gotten, and it also tells me how many active minutes I've had. Funny thing is, I always have to hit my 10,000 steps every day. My wife makes fun of me all the time because it'll be 11:58 and I still have another 200 steps to get, and I will get up and I'll make sure I get those steps. Yes, it's crazy. It's like my AA thing where every day you check off on the calendar that you've been sober. To me, that is steps. There are a few different physical buttons on it. It also has a touch screen, so I could slide throughout the experience. So I could either use the buttons or I could use the touch screen, whichever one I prefer. One of the nice things about this watch is they have all these different fitness modes. If I want to cycle, if I want to do aerobics, if I want to fast walk, it has all these different fitness modes depending what I want to do. I've used the cycling before. It also has GPS, so if I'm going to go biking, it could tell me the distance that I've covered. It could also tell me the pace that I'm going at. Without GPS, you wouldn't be able to do it. Also, after the fact, I could look at a map and I could see exactly where I've gone via the GPS. I like that. One of the things you'll notice, and this is kind of pulling from my Microsoft experience, whenever we build products, one of the important checks that we do before launching is we make sure that it's localized. Localization means that you adjust the language to match the local market that you're going into. Here, when I look at all the different exercises, it hasn't quite been localized. And what I mean by that is, well, we have cycle, you could say bike, but cycle works. Let's see, we also have climb. Yes, climb. I would probably go with hike. Gosh, like if we're gonna ship this watch in the US, you need your football. American football, that's what Americans are all about. Let's get football on there. Now there's one sport on there, swimming. And you would think with swimming, that would imply that this sports watch handles swimming in the pool pretty well. Well, you know, as part of the Kevin testing process, there's a swimming mode, so we're gonna go test out swimming. Unfortunately, this watch was the one that came in the pool with me, and it worked for a little bit. I mean, on the side of the box here, it says that it's water resistant. Water resistant means that you could get sweat on there. Water resistant does not mean you could dive in a pool. Some of the other things that the smartwatch has, I'm going to jump to the next menu. You have a pretty exhaustive menu here. You have messages. With messages, it's kind of cool. If you get a Facebook message, if you get a text message, it'll show up on this screen. You can look at your events if you want to look at your calendar. You have a stopwatch, a timer. You have some additional settings where you can set things like what time format you want. In the US, we have a thing called AM, PM that we attach to the end of the 12-hour clock. It's kind of weird. We don't go with the 24-hour clock, but there are a lot of other things like the metric system that we don't follow either. I could look at my heart rate. There's a fatigue mode, which is interesting. With fatigue, I wake up in the morning and it'll take my heart rate and it'll also take my sleep and it'll tell me if I'm fatigued. So if I wake up and I'm tired, it'll tell me that I'm tired. Lastly, what I can also do is I could flip through these different screens and I could look at my steps, how many steps I've gotten throughout the day, standing time, and also the energy that I've expended in terms of calories throughout the day. And last but not least, I can also swipe up from the bottom and there's a cool little flashlight mode where it turns my screen all white, so when it's dark at night, I could find my way around. And actually, when you have a sleeping baby and a wife in your bedroom, that's a good way to navigate around the room. Okay, so I've been talking a lot about the P1 sports watch by iWANFit. It has some pretty good functionality in it. It does all the essentials. You get your steps, you get your energy, you get your standing. It even has GPS built in, which is pretty nice. For a $75 watch, it really does quite a bit. It's your basic foundational sports watch. It'll give you all the information you need in terms of the distance you go, the number of steps you complete. So in terms of a basic sports watch, it does all of that well. And then you have some nice things like the GPS, the heart rate, all of that thrown in. Price-wise, it really beats a lot of the competition because it's a lot cheaper. Now, one of the things you have to keep in mind when you're looking at smartwatches is this isn't your Apple Watch. You can't load apps, you can't listen to your music. It doesn't do that. If you're looking for all those things, this is not the smartwatch for you, and you probably should look around at other models that are out there. If you're looking at it, I would recommend it. I give it my stamp of approval. With a few notes, if you're a swimmer, definitely don't recommend it. Do not get this sports watch because this thing will not last in the pool with you. But for all other use, it'll do a pretty good job. Good price. Hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.